Have you ever checked your bank account in February expecting your Social Security payment and felt that quiet worry when it wasn't there yet, even though your bills were already due? For many people living on a fixed income, February is one of the most stressful months of the year, not because benefits are being cut, not because Social Security has suddenly changed the rules, but because timing matters. And February has a way of making those timing gaps feel longer, heavier, and harder to manage. When you depend on Social Security, knowing exactly when your money arrives is just as important as knowing how much you receive. Rent does not wait. Utilities do not wait. Groceries cannot be postponed. And yet, every month, millions of people find themselves refreshing their bank app, wondering if something went wrong or hoping that an extra payment or stimulus check might show up to ease the pressure. February often makes that anxiety worse. It is a shorter month, but the space between payments can feel longer than usual. If you are not prepared for how the calendar lines up, it can feel like your money is late, even when it is right on schedule. That uncertainty alone is enough to cause stress, and stress is where costly mistakes begin. This is not about irresponsibility, it is about how the system works and how unforgiving it can be when your income arrives later in the month than your bills. One wrong assumption about a deposit date can lead to overdraft fees, late charges, or rushed decisions that take months to recover from. The uncomfortable truth is that Social Security problems in months like February 2026 are rarely about benefit amounts. They are about timing. When timing collides with rent schedules, automatic withdrawals, and rising costs, it creates a chain reaction. People panic. Accounts overdraft. Credit cards get used for necessities. Some people even turn to high-interest short-term loans, all because they did not realize their payment was never scheduled to arrive early in the month to begin with. Rumors make this even harder. Messages circulate about stimulus checks, surprise deposits, or special February payments. Friends share posts, family members forward videos, hope mixes with confusion, and people delay important decisions while waiting for money that may never come. Meanwhile, bills continue to move forward. This is not fear-mongering. It is about understanding calendars, payment schedules, and how Social Security actually works. Because uncertainty creates anxiety, but clarity creates control. My name is Sara. For many years, I have watched hardworking Americans reach retirement expecting a sense of stability, only to find themselves stressed over something that should be simple, knowing when their money is coming. February is one of the months where this confusion shows up most clearly, not because Social Security changes the rules, but because those rules were never clearly explained. The goal today is simple: to remove that confusion so you are not guessing, not hoping, and not reacting at the last minute. By the end, you will understand why February 2026 feels different, what is real and what is rumor, and how to protect yourself from unnecessary financial stress. Everything starts with one basic fact that surprises many people. The Social Security Administration does not schedule payments based on when your bills are due. Your payment date is determined almost entirely by your birth date. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment is scheduled for the second Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on the third Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the fourth Wednesday. There is one important exception. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May of 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and supplemental security income, your payment is scheduled for the third day of each month, regardless of your birth date. That is why some people always see their money early, while others wait longer, even though they receive similar benefits. Once you understand this system, months like February begin to make sense. Social Security does not smooth out payment gaps. If January's payment arrives earlier and February's is scheduled for a later Wednesday, the stretch between deposits can feel unusually long. But nothing is wrong. The calendar is simply doing what it does. Now let's talk about February 2026 specifically. February 3rd falls on a Tuesday, which means those who receive payments on the 3rd will see their money right on time. For them, the month feels fairly normal. For everyone else, the timing feels different. The second Wednesday falls on February 11th, the third Wednesday is February 18th, and the fourth Wednesday lands on February 25th. That means some people will not see their February payment until very late in the month, even though their January payment may have arrived much earlier. If your birthday falls toward the end of the month, you could be waiting close to 4 weeks between deposits. That gap can feel overwhelming when bills are due early. This is where people start to panic, assuming something went wrong, when in reality, everything is working exactly as scheduled. This is also where small misunderstandings turn into big financial mistakes. Overdraft fees pile up. Credit cards are used out of necessity. Stress builds. All of it happens because the timing was not clearly understood ahead of time. Understanding payment timing is just as important as understanding benefit amounts. Two people can receive the same Social Security payment, but the one who understands the schedule experiences far less stress. Stability is often about predictability, not income size. Now, let's address stimulus checks, because this is where confusion and false hope cause real harm. As of now, there is no confirmed federal stimulus payment scheduled for February 2026. There is no approved bill and no official announcement. This matters because scammers know people are anxious. Calls, texts, and emails claiming to be from government agencies are designed to create urgency. The Social Security Administration will not call you unexpectedly to demand personal information, and they will not require you to click a link or pay a fee to receive a payment. Those are scams. When stimulus payments have happened in the past, Social Security recipients received them automatically. No application was required. Payments were sent using information already on file, usually by direct deposit first, with paper checks taking longer. Even then, confusion was widespread. The key point is this: stimulus payments are unpredictable and political. They should never be treated as guaranteed income. If you are depending on one to cover necessities, waiting usually makes the situation worse. Your Social Security payment is the income you can plan around. That is your foundation. Anything else is extra, not a solution. Once you accept that, you stop waiting and start planning, and planning restores control. One of the most helpful steps you can take is to know your full Social Security payment schedule for the year. Mark the dates on a calendar. Seeing them clearly reduces anxiety. If your rent is due before your payment arrives, that is a timing issue, not a failure. Addressing it early often prevents bigger problems later. Another important step is building even a small financial buffer. This does not mean saving large amounts. Even a small cushion can absorb minor surprises and prevent them from becoming emergencies. Direct deposit is also worth considering. It provides faster access to your money and reduces delays. In months like February, that timing difference can matter. It is also important to understand how cost of living adjustments and Medicare premiums affect your take-home amount. While benefits may increase on paper, higher premiums can reduce what you actually receive. Knowing your real numbers helps you plan realistically. Concerns about the future of Social Security often add stress, especially during election cycles. While the program faces long-term challenges, benefits for current recipients are expected to continue. Changes, if they happen, are more likely to be gradual, not sudden cuts. There are also support programs many people overlook, from help with food and utilities to prescription assistance. These programs exist for a reason. Using them is not weakness. It is a way to reduce pressure and regain stability. Taxes can also surprise people. Depending on your total income, part of your Social Security benefits may be taxable. Choosing to have taxes withheld can prevent a stressful bill later. When you step back, the stress around February 2026 is not really about 1 month, it is about uncertainty. When you replace uncertainty with understanding, fear begins to lose its power. You have already handled challenges before. With clear information and thoughtful planning, February does not have to be a month of stress. It can be a month where things finally make sense, and when things make sense, calm and confidence follow.